First in Oklahoma. Yes, I did. What? My favorite too. Thank you so much. This is my own.
And it's kind of freedom chata. Potom tapsoba pensunju namanila. Ninko ripitoni pesu shiwatanja. Yoroshinti tota onchilata. Ani ganu namba te mai me memo chomala. Ninko ripitoni tuchi shiwatan shabchi. Tanda gatsun zarim de undi shiwai. Zarum undi mashi kon la. Organi Yoroshoni tanchak dogar chapate di dincha gala vero no shiwai.
I would like to welcome Mr. Freedom Anas Kanter and Mr. Tcsl and our parliamentarian Wen Wangchela on this event. First of all, we start this program. We have a Tibetan national anthem and followed by a minute of silence in the honor of Tibetan martyrs. Thank you.
Gap Chimbujalu Ji Ni Si Shi Bende de Go Chung We De Top De Sambe No Bu Na Pa Den De No Tin Ya Che Yong We Ge Chi Le Gi Re Zo Ge Do che kam so dembe cho gu cham ze yong nam gu ga wa ya de u pa kong la re pun zo de shi nga ta ge pun cho che ka sum gi ke la de gi zo pe sa pe cha je si gi pe yun ta tu de cho cho ge pe zam li yang be ge ju shi de pe la cho pun zhong den de ge zhe ni ye gi da shi ye nam bum zhou zhou wei si na zhou mun bei yu le ye gu qi
Zila Jachi Pau Pamu Namji Bu Tamba Tong Chapsu Chet Rangsho Lu Tong Yi Jachi Pau Pamu Namji Chet Ngazun Karma Chila Nyangen Ngache Karma Chushui Ani Nyangen Wudu no no shui.
Now we have a minute of silence in honor of Tibetan martyrs.
Tcsl. Okay. Hello. Ringen Zaramchi Tomala Sani Chokchong Horgan Juni Sunzani Tashi Shopagi Jinan Chaptun Shiaton Ringen Zaramdi Unzishuin.
On this today's event, first of all, we have a culture program by Songtse Horgan.
Shasha magi yari la jigu guju mindu ba sendo gyani mi ge pole la bunare dos
sendo gyani mi pale ta pole gusu guna mazumo yanu ma chashi shaba se ba de ku tharola ga usta ki tinje ga no sube pyde 그장아 뒤기랑 제장아 기가 터네 혼장아 경기 정보 지리 통보라 샤투 페네 아주마 야노마 차시 쇼와세 와세 너는 깨서 보내기 tinje ga no
Horgan Yorojoni Tensok Durtsopala Nintopani Tuchi no Shayin Shamla Suston Liechtenstein Memong Satsu Karma Chugilagi Tarigin Zarim Tamshenoy Karma Chugila Perono.
Thank you for Sengtsa Horgan performing dance. Now, next, I want to invite Mrs. Kamachugi, President of Tibetan Community of Swiss and Liechtenstein, to speak of today's welcome program.
Hello. Korea Chidu Gewanchila Cho Manzu So Denshu Kundu Eneskanter Tunsundu Lata Ani Tunjuliche Kandelata Chusanla Ande Denshu Shunde Mayimbeki Sobe Uti Nambata Answering Foundation Changmala Ning Takane Digona Gonge Mebeshi Kuna Zolaning Takane Tcsl Shuba Chapchikdu and De Penge Mima Yongla Tari Tuzu Tundu Chignala Kenatsugi Ani Tuzu Dunchene Awa Mambo Chichene Dux Tungsam Yamke Nambatela Ning Takane Kuzita Tucheshueyi. Rest of the speech I would like to give it in English because we have a lot of English-speaking friends here. Respected Venerable Thupten Wangchen, member of the Tibetan Parliament in exile, our chief guest, Mr. Eneskanter Freedom, and his friends and assistant, Mr. Hank. Mr. Tenzitsundu from India, Mrs. Kalkan Somu and Mrs. Tenzin Chesanla from Office of Tibet, Geneva, Presidents of Tibetan Youth Association, Tibetan Women's Association Switzerland, and Swiss-Tibet Friendship Association. And the couple from Zurich Foundation who had been always very generous to Tcsl. And to all my brothers and sisters who are here today. On behalf of the Tibetan community in Switzerland and Liechtenstein, I welcome wholeheartedly all of the distinguished guests. Mr. Eneskanter Freedom needs no introduction. However, briefly introducing, he is one of the most famous American professional basketball player. Born in Switzerland, and raised in Turkey, and then later, as a teenager, moved to America on a very famous, renowned scholarship. For years, he condemned human rights abuses in Turkey, which led to the arrest and imprisonment of his dear father. Enes lost his Turkish citizenship and faced innumerable restrictions on his movements until he became a US citizen. Being vocal on abuses of human rights and democracy in Turkey and in communist regime China, Enes sacrificed both at personal and professional level, and risked threat to his life. Our special guest, Tcsl, poet, writer, and activist, brought up in India, Dharamsala, same place like me. He still lives in Dharamsala, India. He was imprisoned 16 times, and when he was 22 years of age, he went to Tibet and he was jailed there too. It's a Thanksgiving occasion, but at the same time, I would like to cite 2 recent cases of self-immolation by Tibetans living in Tibet, illegally occupied by Chinese Communist regime. On 25th February 2022, it has been widely reported that the famous and much-loved Tibetan singer and composer Tsawanobu, sorry, I didn't bring my glass, so I have a little difficulty, carried out a self-immolation protest in the Tibet's capital, Lhasa, by the Trago Kaling stupa in front of the Potala Palace. Perhaps a week later, he passed away under Chinese police custody. He was only 25 years old. Mr. Tapun, 81-year-old, who passed away early morning after setting himself on fire on 27th March 2022, that means only 5 days ago, to protest CCP's continued repression. He self-immolated in front of the Chinese police station at the local Kirti monastery in Ngapa country. Chinese police took him away moments after he set himself on fire, and he died later while in police custody. Thank you. At his 80th birthday last year, Tapun had said, "It's certain the sun of happiness will shine over Tibet due to the blessings of His Holiness the Dalai Lama." And he asked young Tibetans not to lose heart. And Mr. Tapun, we will not. Our youngsters will not lose their heart. Inside illegally occupied Tibet, 157 known cases of deaths due to self-immolation took place since 2009, a year after the 2008 Beijing Summer Olympic. Therefore, I consider Anis Kenter Freedom's voice is the most valuable gift to all those voiceless and suppressed people under the Chinese Communist regime. I'm quoting a statement from Anis Freedom, which we have printed here. Sorry, we couldn't print too much, many of those. I quote, "We can't be silent in the face of these injustices. The world needs to wake up and realize that the Chinese Communist Party is not our friend." You are so right, Mr. Anis Freedom. And we, the Tibetans living inside and outside Tibet, express our gratitude, thankfulness, and appreciation to you for choosing to give up a luxurious life to fight for the rights and dignity for the people in Tibet and in East Turkestan, and for standing up against a political might like Communist Party of China. Our thanks also goes to Mr. Tsundu for his dedication for the cause of Tibet. I also thank Mr. Hank, Secretary of Mr. Anis, for replying so quickly and for keeping me up to date for all the movements and for all your time and contribution to this event. And I thank Mr. Kuzat Alte, President of Uyghur American Association, for spending time and coming with Anis here today in this event. And I thank Venerable Wanchela for accepting our invitation and being officially here as member of the Parliament, Tibetan Parliament in Exile, and flew this morning from Barcelona. Last, not the least, thank you, Mr. Ernest Freedom, for sharing your time with us today. And our sincere advance congratulations on behalf of Tibetans residing here for the prestigious Courage Award that Geneva Summit is awarding you. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for your support. Tcsl! 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 Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free Tibet! Free East Turkestan! Free East Turkestan! Free East Turkestan! Tujiche.
Sasula Tishina, Shamla, Sami Tsachon Hor Gondandi Marish. Shamla, Susu Tunchuk Lishi, Kadan Sumulage, Sonshana Marisha, and Nikadan Sumala Pirono.
Thank you, Mrs. Kamachugila. Now we have a speech by Mrs. Galton Somo, UN Advocacy Officer of Office of Tibet, Geneva.
Thank you. Okay. Tcsl, tuju damjing ki thoni pege thoni shugume bache ani shagya inge ki thoni shugi. I pay my respect to Venerable Thupten Wangchela, Europe member of Tibetan Parliament in Exile, celebrated basketball champion and human rights activist Ernest Cantor Freedom and the entourage team, Tibetan poet and activist Tenzin Chindula, and Tibetan community of Switzerland and Liechtenstein, President, Vice President, all section in charge, and each and every one of you for being here for this special gathering. It is a great privilege for me on behalf of the Tibet Bureau in Geneva to acknowledge and express our profound gratitude to Ernest Cantor Freedom for your extraordinary voice for voices suppressed by the authoritarian regime. Thank you, Ernest Cantor. The celebrities and public figures' journey to stand up for Tibet has never been easy. In fact, standing on the right side of history and standing for truth is a challenge that humanity is significantly falling short of. However, risking one's own professional career, Ernest Cantor did not shy away from speaking out against horrendous human rights violations by China. I am humbled by this opportunity to thank Ernest Cantor Freedom for choosing to represent the human side of athletes. Thank you, Ernest Cantor, for feeling the oppression in Tibet, East Turkestan, and other regions dominated by China. Ernest Cantor's freedom, heroic efforts, and courage to put spotlight on China's brutal suppression and subjugation in Tibet will not go in vain. The courage to tell the truth is indeed an inspiration for those who aspire to support and serve for the same cause. Thank you, Anastasia, for being with people of Tibet, people of East Turkestan, and for those who need your voices in this very difficult time. In face of ever-growing China's transnational repression and operation of its influences, the world needs courageous athletes like Anastasia more than ever. So thank you, Anastasia, on behalf of Tibet Bureau in Geneva and on behalf of all our Tibetan people. And dear Sundula, welcome to Switzerland, and we wish you a very successful Tibet advocacy tour in Switzerland and other parts of Europe. And thank you for all your good work for Tibet and for Tibetan people. Thank you, Tibetan community of Switzerland and Liechtenstein, for arranging this wonderful gathering to honor Anastasia freedom, and thank you so much.
Tibetan Sumala Tuchina, Ani Shamla, Horgan Europe Jonin Tensok, Duversokpa, Sonsa, Ni Ani Jina, Tamushay, Tajadi, Duversokani, Dinchagona Pirono.
Thank you, Mrs. Kandin Sumala. Now we have a cultural...
Hello. Tuchina, Shamla, Switzerland and Liechtenstein Puri Mimong Tcsl Karma Chuki Lagi, Anastasia Freedom Chala, Tcsl Leonberg in Jatter Don Shaton Biaye, Ani Tcsl Karma Chuki La, Dinchagona Piron. Ati Tcsl Leonberg in Zaram de Unzu Mashikonla. Tombo Anastasia Koron, Poken on Lang in the knee, Mutu Tonton Chichuaye. Anastasia Chana, Chulu, Chikton, Gupchikoni Lu, Dangavici Nishinu, Swiss Trancher, Zurich Noche, Pama Nicha Turkin Yembare, Tata Kon Ari Musi Yenshin, Zamling Supurika, Kata Chishu, MBA Nong Tindamba, Kata Jashi. Chanduni Laxi Polo Am Supo Tinjur Hachon Gashin Rim Jintu Turkey Supo Rakatan Ari Toncher Boston Rakas NBA non shute Supo Tinjanju Lurju no Anastasia Freedom Chi Min Den Zamni Yon La Chap Jano Ton Jachi Nunshik Kola Yon Manzimber Konking Hashi Rimber, Puchi Dintundon, Rawan Tapsu Sola, Japchuchi Tamsheton, Konsan Chola and Jetan Sonante, Puki Netundon Yukur, Timin Zamlungi, Dromi Topton Rawan, Monsu Sonchu Sochi, Lincoln Hamape. Anis Kola, Davandi Tsi Tuni, Geneva Janson Dromi Topton Yalan Sambanguni, Nito Nisani Lu, Geneva. Lortu Zintok Siashi, Batankio Pare, Tuchino.
Now we have, I want to introduce a brief introduction for Mr. Anastasia Freedom. Anastasia Freedom is an American professional basketball player who last played for the Boston Celtics of National Basketball Association (NBA). Born in Switzerland to the Turkish parents, he was raised in Turkey and moved to the United States as a teenager. A cross-regional coalition of 25 human rights organizations announced today that its prestigious International Human Rights Award will go this year to Anis Kanter Freedom, an NBA athletic and activist currently risking his career for the speak out against Chinese persecutions of ethnic Uyghurs. Freedom will receive the Geneva Summit's 2022 Courage Award at the summary on Wednesday, April 6, 2022, where he will address UN ambassador, human rights activists, and journalists from all around the world attending the 14th Annual Geneva Summit for Human Rights and Democracy. Now I would like to invite Mr. Anis Kanter on the stage for offering our Katak and souvenir by President, Tibetan community of Switzerland and Liechtenstein.
All right. This is. First of all, I want to say I'm very honored and humbled to be here. Today is actually a very special day because today is the first time I am meeting with a community outside of America, and it happens to be you guys, so I'm very honored and humbled, so I really appreciate it. I just want to make this clear. Today is not about me. It's about you guys. It's about hope. It's about freedom. And most importantly, it's about His Holiness. I want to talk a little bit about my life story because it connects with you guys. Because whatever you guys are going through, I'm going through the same thing. You know, I born in Switzerland. And I grew up in Turkey. And unfortunately, there are many human rights violations are happening in my home country, Turkey. And corruption is one of them. And that is the first time I started to talk about, you know, all the human rights violations in Turkey. And obviously, because of the NBA platform, it became a conversation in the United States and all over the world. And after that, I started to, you know, pay attention about what's going on in my home country, Turkey. You know, because unfortunately, as you guys know, there are many political prisoners and, you know, human rights violations were happening. And I was like, I have to use my platform to be the voice of all those innocent people, right? And unfortunately, when you talk about a dictatorship like that in Turkey, they're not gonna like it, you know? And as many Tibetans are going through right now, they put my dad in jail. So he became a political prisoner. They revoked my passport and put my name on Interpol list. You know, last time I saw my family, it was back in 2015, you know? So after that, I came to America, right? And this summer, I actually witnessed a very interesting story, and I want to share with you guys. I was doing a basketball camp this summer for kids, right? And right after the basketball camp, there was many people and many kids just like you guys was taking pictures, right? And while I was taking a picture with one of the kids, his parent called me out in front of everybody and said, "How can you call yourself a human rights activist when your brothers and sisters over there in China are, getting tortured and raped every day?" I was shocked. I turned around to that parent and I said, "I promise you I'm going to get back to you." That day, I canceled everything. I went back to my hotel room and started to study. Started to study about what the people in East Turkestan are going through, what Tibetans are going through, what Hong Kongers are going through, what Taiwanese people are going through, what Mongolians are going through, And I was really ashamed of myself. I was like, the last 10 years, I only focused on one dictatorship. But on the other side, right, Chinese Communist Party what's happening in China right now is the worst human rights violations that are happening in the world today, And I promised myself, I was like, I'm going to do whatever I can to bring awareness about what's going on over there. And whatever it takes, I'm going to go out there and be the voice, right? And the more I studied, the more my heart was shattering, And I wanted to do it in a very unique way. When I was a kid, whenever I watched an NBA game, the first thing I was looking at it was an NBA player's shoes, right? What color is it? What color it is? If it's comfortable, what brand it is, right? So the reason I wanted to create a shoe, because I wanted to educate the young generation. Because if they are educated, if they know their rights, we are not going to face the same problems we are facing right now. So I created a shoe, right? And the first topic was you guys, was Tibetans. And I created the shoes. It was first game at Madison Square Garden in New York. I put the shoes on my feet and went out there and started to warm up. And all my teammates were looking at my shoes. They're like, what is this, right? And then it was an amazing opportunity for me to tell my teammates about who Tibetans are. What are they going through? What can we do to help those people, And that game, I played 0 minutes, unfortunately. They did not even put me out. They didn't even put me out there. And at halftime of the game, so it takes 24 minutes for one halftime. I went back to my locker room, and my manager texted me and said, every Celtics games are banned in China. And that clearly, I told all my friends, I told all the media, that clearly shows it's a dictatorship because they're scared. They're even scared for an NBA player to wear shoes and go out there. But I didn't care. I'm like, I could care less. I'm just going to keep speaking about what's happening. Sometimes there are bigger things than basketball. Sometimes there are bigger things than money. And sometimes in life there are bigger things than business, like morals, like courage, like values, like principles, right? I was pushing my teammates. I was pushing the NBA. I was pushing all my colleague athlete friends around the world, saying, do not pick money over morals, because if your parents, if your mom, or if your sister or your wife was going through what Tibetans, what Uyghurs are going through, you wouldn't be quiet about it, And then I was out of the league, And the day that NBA released me, I looked back and I said one thing: I'm glad I did it. I don't regret anything, So And then probably around 20 days later, after I got released, it was probably one of the most special days in my life because I actually, even when I was a teenager, I was following His Holiness on social media, and his message was always so inspiring me, you know? And I am Muslim, and my religion asked me to stand up for other people too, not just for your people, but for other people too. So I wanted to have a conversation with him. And I reached out to my people, and I was like, that is one of my biggest wish. I just want to have a conversation with His Holiness. He said, we'll make that happen. And I remember first time I was in front of a computer, right? And we were about to have a Zoom. And he said he'll be on in 5 minutes. And my heart was beating so fast. I was like, oh my God, I'm really about to have a conversation with His Holiness, right? It was just definitely one of the most special. And I grew up as a His Holiness fan because of social media. So I remember he came and sat down on his chair, and my heart was beating and my voice was so shaky, right? And then I had a t-shirt. It says freedom. I don't know if I'm sure you guys watched the video that between me and Holiness. Yes. And the first thing, it caught his eyes. He started to explain about what freedom is. And obviously I asked him a lot of questions about one of the questions was like, what can I do as a Muslim human being? What can I do to help you guys? What he said was so inspired me. He said, it doesn't matter what your religion is. It doesn't matter what your skin color is. It doesn't matter, what your ethnicity or where you came from. The most important in life is leave your differences on the table and try to find what we have in common. Because we only have one world to live, Till one of those rich billionaires find another planet to live, this world is what we have. So we need to make this world better together. And the conversation was amazing. He asked me some couple things. I asked him a few things. By the way, his favorite sport is boxing. I asked him about his favorite sport, and he said it's boxing. It was very interesting to me. But that day I learned a lot because, for him to, have a conversation with a 20-year-old NBA player, it shows how humble he is, And then it just clicked. I asked him one advice. What can I do? Right? He said, be the voice of all those innocent people out there who don't have a voice. Use your platform. Use your platform to bring good. And, always try to bring love and compassion and hope into this world, because that's what our world needs the most. And then we said goodbye, and I turned off the computer, and I said to myself, you look at our world right now. There are so many conflicts, there are so many wars, there are so many people are hating on each other, there are so many people are killing each other. I said it to my friend, if every world leader follows the message of His Holiness, there will be no war. But the last thing, I don't want to talk too much, I don't want to take too much of your time, but the last thing I will say is, I think the most important thing, whenever I see Tibetans, or whenever I sit down with have a conversation with the Tibetan community, the most important thing I will tell them is do not lose hope. Because if you lose hope, you lose everything. You have to fight for your people, you have to fight for your country, and you have to fight for freedom. Because you look down the history, every dictatorship is going to come to an end. And I know China's Communist Party is going to come to an end one day. And whatever we are having right now, we are going to have that in Tibet. So, also the last thing I want to say is, you guys have the best food. It calls moma, I believe, right? Is it moma? Momo, sorry. So we had the same event in Boston, and they brought me some momo, right? I'm like, can I have like a couple to-go boxes to take it home, right? It's one of those, it's delicious. But I want to say thank you guys, because I am very honored that you guys are here with me. And like I said again, tonight is not about me, tonight is about you guys. And let's let the whole world know Tibet belongs to Tibetans. That's it. So, thank you guys, I appreciate it. This is the beginning of something so good. You know, now I have my American passport, I will keep coming and visiting you guys a lot. I hope next time, it's Ramadan right now, I'm not allowed to eat or drink, but next time I come, I need some momo, please. Please, I need some momo. So with that being said, thank you guys so much, I appreciate it. Keep praying for us, keep praying for the NBA. I hope the more athletes will come out and do the right thing, because like I said again, there are bigger things than money and business, like morals and principles, and you guys are the example of those things, principles, values, and morals. So thank you guys, I appreciate it, and free Tibet. Thank you. Good?
Anis Kander freedom la nin topani tukshi chi shwayi. Ani shamla sani chochong luzani yina zimbu shwayin.
Thank you so much for Mr. Anis Kander for his wonderful speech. Now we have a Tibetan dance from section Luzon.
Want to be 지지 니바데 가르스나 단단 가서 저름 될라 저런 즉 먼저 랑도 차서 공개 조님이 봐 시시와 인 가려 시와나 아니스 캔들 코로 조종하던 체크 라파 페고도 니 바로 될라 부메모 신투 모첩제지 신투 통통 원철라니 아니스 캔들 코로라 티지 럼베ken 제터 주도하지 그랜도 자위찬이 디젤라 던 순질라레 임바이나 아니스 캔들 코로 잡고 페고인디 Dini jiwa maja rangja chasong shuayin Shamla Europe shintu Tata wangchin chawni Pui mimang shintu lan kange ngotsab chu shi Ani skandar kong la jatar tong shatong biyayin
Now we have address by Wen Wanchila, Member of Tibetan Parliament in Exile, Dharamsala.
Many Tcsl and greetings to our chief guest, Ines Kender Freedom, and our representative of His Holiness Office in Geneva, and Kama Chikila, and all the Tibetan community in Switzerland and Liechtenstein, and also one of our chief guests, Tcsl. Welcome everybody. So, due to lack of time, I want to say, our Tibetan friends, our new Tibetan friends, Ines Kender, and accepting our invitation to be here with us in Switzerland even though you are so busy, but thank you very much for the acceptation of our invitation. So you have done so great job and advocate for human rights and pointed out the injustice, what is happening in this world. That is the Chinese government violating human rights and injustice and repression in Tibet, in Uyghurs, and in Hong Kong, the democracy repression, what is happening. The world is silence, but you open the silence and you represent voice of voiceless people in this world. Thank you, Ines Kender, and you have a good name, freedom. There's every human in this world, and even animals, they want to live in freedom. They live in peace and harmony. So this is what, and today also, yesterday I was in New Delhi, and then I fly to Barcelona, and this morning I fly here to say you personally greetings from our speaker, Tibetan Parliament, Deputy Speaker, and 45 members of Parliament in exile. And I represent here, I want to say thank you. Your visit and your word, what you have given us before, recently, a few minutes ago, that you stand for human rights, for freedom, and people who are suffering under the regime of communist and dictatorship. So we Tibetans, we are peace-loving people. We are following His Holiness Dalai Lama and Mahatma Gandhi and non-violence. This is what we need and what we want to follow this. So I really want to share because of no time, and your courages, your determinations, and your fight for freedom really is great. Yes, we all Tibetan, we appreciate what you are doing, what you speak in the world without fear. Yes, and you stand for the right of humans. We Tibetans are not against Chinese people. We are against Chinese government dictatorship. As you said, Tibet belongs to Tibetans. Yeah, so we will never lose our hope. We will never, and His Holiness even says, remember Tibet, don't forget Tibet. We Tibetans, we need more supporters from the world, like you, Ines Kender Freedom. And We will never give up our struggle. And you too, please, Mr. Freedom and Iskender, don't give up, even though you you will receive many pressure from Chinese side. So Chinese government power will never last forever. It is impermanence. The Xi Jinping will suffer in few years back. Nothing will last forever. So this is our message. And please come up. I will conclude, and I will give official kata to you, and also come on, you fish. And 제장 배포 참을로 ngajude 드링 ngaranjo 그 토고사와 Iskender Freedom 그란데 스위스 동계들라 페토바데 시부제 ngaranjo 시지레 ngajo 브리석바 스위스 and Liechtenstein 겐 브리석에게 터진 남버들라 투지체 쉐인르바 투지체 쉐야다 알학바도 기딩아 남샤 딩아 키샤 아니 학바도 그란 드링데 원에 겨울에 무치게 쿠바 여백에 티셔츠 남 르바 안데 그란게 베텐돌라 수셰 남 투버데 ngaranjo 제단 매백에 ngaranjo 톡보 원에 닝도게 톡보지레 제단 그란라 차다로나 참말로라 투지시셔야다 안들인데 아주 배박한라 간좀 패샤 아니 참말로 당연 저게 탑저데 무트제 난고고 요래 가지는 아주 도서직지 승구 요래 다에 도서직지 정말 킹거려 봐 내단데 대세스 이내양 아주 심주촌에 차야요 말다 아주 여름 부채 슈요래 인도 간에 ngaranjo ngune semcho mashabe tone doze jiri naro na shwe right elagwa dela ngaranjo shungde member chokba 카데 신우 chokba bime chokba 아니 수비 자리 chokba 주주 페요래 당 ngaranjo shungde member chokba 참을로 냠르게 tone ngaranjo 나 탑제 최고의 열에 만도지 아주 최고의 용의 요 말에 right 인도 간jo 냠르게 네봤던 돼야지다 안들인데 문에 ngaranjo 벽에 탑져봐 딘지 준줄라 문에 내 수스라 마지 흔주 제장 아주 냠도 좀바데 투지체 가진 체셔야 예 참을로 오케이 thank you
니젤라 jeune permis chopawe chosu tong de gongla phero no songdo nyampa doya tong jete doya yin songi
Now I want to invite Tibetan Youth Association President and Tibetan Women Association President to offering the Kadak and souvenir to Mr. Iskender Freedom.
That's it. Now, the second person.
Okay, I'm just gonna sit down here for 1 second. All right, I am about to leave. You guys can keep going. I know, I need to. So it's Ramadan today, so I'm fasting, right? I need to go eat some, I don't know, not momo, but something else. So next time, so one thing, I'm actually planning to come back here in the summertime, and I have a surprise for you guys. So my manager here, right there, can promise you guys that we are going to organize a basketball kids for the kids. Basketball camp, yep. So that's my promise to you guys, that whenever we come, we're gonna organize a basketball camp. And I just wanna say, you know, there are so many people from here, from Turkish community, and I wanted this night to be a beginning of something beautiful, beginning of a friendship, you know, because I think what Turkish people are going through, what we are going through is not as bad, but it's really similar to what you guys are going through. So I think if we can unite, if we can bring our power, we can destroy all the dictatorships out there. And I believe in that. So this is the beginning of something amazing, and I'm so excited and happy to be here. I'm really heartbroken because I have to leave early and go eat some food and break my fast, but I promise you I'm gonna get back to this summer. And again, thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing, and the hospitality was super nice. And have a great night. Thank you.
Again, thank you. Hubi tangkena poten tapsuba tenso ni la periore. Tini ngaron sote, tanda turki magic. Tangazo nasi bol cekiji. Tiri perni korong ko boba musin sini ta. Ari to walan ji orde. Tangazo susula Europe la musin sini ko. Sonan le kande chonso. Tanda Europe ji dimishani.
소난 그들이 이내 야구래.
나오나.
가르스난 안저 탑저당 안저 레고드 배벌한 게 되지 고지 수고 야래. 뒤도 달은 스위스 미만 게 고지 남버디 할레베 야고다 안 하고도 고지 제법 이내야 참참 준비 난겐도 팬모드에 있는 거. 까디 코랑어서 NS Country Freedom 코랑어서 대표토바. 다나신 아주 그렇게 다 탑저봐. 아주 유제봐. 진짜 염도를 대표토버에 세가기 야구를 아니 등저지게 가는 마켓시에 여봐. 그러봐. 뒤도 간에 저지 야구시라 나셔라. 초와 빼면서 야구 중심.
네, 단데 보바서 렌데 땅아주 코롱군에 인지실에 고교 말로 왔다. 코롱군이 렌데로 가는 게 가서 프리든 단다 알리스 카드 코롱 렌데로 가는 게.
또 그런 게 문제지 그 나무네 어지경과 정부 저기 숭좀다 깔로남한테 좀 거기에서 그런 할레베 딜라 그 가서 샘소를 첨부 가고 싶지요. 디가라 따단다 코란이네 터키네 인도 터키레 두부 냥베 냥당 코란이 미지 루주 셰스마 힌는 신게다 코란 때 점불링 나올라 그 두부 냥게 수수 두 스텝인데 아니 배바치 그래샤스 배배고라 테스 코란 가수레 제주 망지 지도간에 문내 표현 토라 갑조지 그거 여바다 문제 임바지 인도간에 코란이 들었다 점불링 라마 세세 제에 갑조 제에 코란게 켈렌 담자적지 중소스 이 인도간에 딱 배워서 쉐고야 가르스나 벽에 닦고대 비미소를 다스 kanzo simju namya chaya yaw maris o dilero chukurang nganzo la ta simju par hwa de gi nanga shujire ta chilo michi ge nganzo la ta simju chagyu yaw maris du kane nganzo phebe isi yimbina phebe ge michi yimba chane phege tsadyon chane laga chaya de nganzo lengero ba de du kane kona simju masha de phesingende dagote tan juwadang tugu mare to 비미소 레스토리 다고 비미 레스토스 간나서